Have you been thinking about investing in the stock market, but not sure what to do, where to go, or how to do it? Well, you came to the right place. On the other side, we're going to talk about all that stuff. So I'll see you over there. Now, if you're new here and you're wondering who the heck I am, I totally understand. My name is Kamari Ellis. I've worked in the finance industry for almost 20 years as an accountant, financial advisor, investment analyst, and as a portfolio manager. So one of my big passions is education. So here on my channel, we talk about all things wealth, money, investments, taxes, business, anything around those topics are fair game here. So now today, what I want to do is, or what I'm going to do is, I'm going to start talking about investing, start talking about the stock market. It's one of the things I'm very, very passionate about. I love the markets because I think in order to truly become wealthy, you have to develop a wealth mindset. And so this channel was really geared towards the beginning investor. And so I had this idea. I said, one of the things I believe when it comes to investing is people should start investing in what they know. So I said, let's create a mini series called Invest in What You Know. How ironic. So just to break down the topic of invest in what you know. There's a pretty big investor a couple of years ago by the name of Peter Lynch, who kind of popularized this idea of investing in things that you know, that you use. For example, I use an iPhone. I use an iPad, right? I might want to invest in Apple. I do, however, have a Dell laptop and other things. I wear Nike shoes, but you know what? I go to Starbucks quite often. All of those companies I just named are things that I consume, are things that I buy, are things that I use. So if I'm going to consume it, buy it, and use it, why not own it? Why not invest in it? And so a lot of times I get the question from people that say, hey, Kamari, I want to invest, but I don't know where to go. So I say, invest in what you know. Right. So a minute ago, I just talked about a guy by the name of Peter Lynch. He has a wonderful book called One Up on Wall Street. I would suggest everybody to buy that book just as a beginner's point. All right. If you're not much of a reader, then I would just say take inventory of what's in your house. Again, do you wear Nikes? Do you watch with Clorox? Do you love Apple products? Do you like Dell, HP? What about movies? Do you like the movies? Do you like any of this new Marvel series that's been out? Guess who they're owned by? Disney. So, do you like Star Wars? Guess who they're owned by? Disney. Right? And there's a whole bunch of things. There's a whole lot of other companies a lot of times that are owned by a much bigger company. And you can look at those. Do you like to go out and eat fast food at maybe at Olive Garden? They're owned by Darden Restaurants. Again, publicly traded company. So you can invest a lot of times in places where you go and patronize their services, buy their products and goods, and you can become a part of the profit machine. Instead of just giving them your money, you could also get a piece of your money back to you in return of a stock. So instead of you just spending your money with them all the time and you getting nothing for it, you can become an investor in that company and at least participate in some of the profits. So, first thing you need to do to buy stocks, you got to have a brokerage account. Brokerage account, pretty simple. I recommend Robinhood. Robinhood app is pretty simple. You can put it on your phone. You can buy stocks on your phone. You can get alerts on your phone. It's a pretty cool app. It's a relatively new company, but they're well capitalized and they're registered with all the agencies. So I would use the Robinhood app. If you look below, I'll put a link down there. If you use my link, guess what? I'll get a free stock. And guess what? You'll get a free stock. So we'll all get stock together. All right. So once you get your Robinhood app, now you got to figure out who you want to use or who do you want to invest in. All right. So again, we talked about that a little bit, but I'm going to use Apple. So if we type in Apple, you want to find out the ticker symbol, right? I told you that I use Apple products a lot. I think Steve Jobs was probably the greatest CEO of this generation, but I'm not saying to be like Steve Jobs. Totally different things. So, pull up, open it up, and one of the things you can do, just as a caveat, as a research tool, free research tool, you can use yahoo.finance.com or the Yahoo Finance app. So you can type in Apple, right? Ticker symbol AAPL. All stocks have what's called ticker symbols. So they have a symbol that trades on the boards on the stock exchanges so everybody can easily identify it. And Apple's happens to be AAPL. Right now, Apple is trading at $202 at the time of this recording. $203. So you can see where it's at. You can go over to your Robinhood app. You can deposit roughly, I don't know, $210, just to make it even math. And then you can put in an order to buy Apple. And it's called a buy order, and you can buy it at the market. So what I would do is, again, I would figure out where I spend my money at. Where do you buy your kids' stuff at? For birthdays and holidays and any other special days. When you're buying stuff for your children, buying some stock. Get them a Robinhood account also. So again, it's not that hard, but a lot of times mainstream media makes stock investing seem like it's rocket science. It's really not. But one of the things that I want to bring your attention to is that the reason why these businesses are so well known and you use them is because they're good businesses. So I know a lot of times people are trying to, flip their money and make the most amount of money they can in the shortest period of time. I want to tell you to avoid that for right now. Get your bearings under yourself, learn how to research stocks. But for long-term investors, and that's who I usually talk to, focus on the long term, 10 years plus, or at least 5 years plus, right? And focus on businesses that are legitimately good companies. Everybody I just named is a good company. They have a proven business model and they make profits. Some of these other companies, not so much. So we want to avoid them for right now. Again, this is for the beginners. Just take your time, begin to learn, and absorb everything that you can. And what I would say is, if you have $200 to buy Apple, just put $200 into your account and buy a share of Apple every month. That's called dollar cost averaging. I have a video somewhere around here on my channel that I'll post up there as well. But basically, dollar cost averaging is you take the same amount, you invest it in your account, the same frequency. That frequency can be once a week, once a month, and then you buy when the stock is at different price points. So right now, Apple's at 202. Earlier this month, it was at 211. So every time you buy in, it's going to be at a different point. It'll all average out, and usually it'll help you have a cheaper or a lower cost basis. That's what you ultimately paid for the stock in total, in aggregate. And when you go to sell it over time, it'll help you make more profits. But that's assuming if the price of the stock went up. Sometimes the price of the stock goes down. You can make money when stock goes down, but again, we're not going to talk about that today. But like I said, just invest. It doesn't have to be $200 a month. It could be $100 a month. It could be $50 a month. It could be $25 a month. All right, you can start a portfolio with $25 a month. Not a whole lot of money. It's probably what you spend at Starbucks. It's part of the reason why I say invest in things that you buy all the time. We all know a cup of coffee at Starbucks is like $5. So, invest in yourself. Invest in the things that you buy already. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them in the comments below. And if you're an investor, tell me what stock you own. Drop that in below also. Have a great day, everybody. Kamari Ellis out.